I'm Owen Bigland. This is the Inside Edge video blog. Okay, interesting article I came across this week entitled, Canadian Seniors Are Selling Their Homes Later in Life. What will this mean for the housing market? And it went on to the findings of a report called the Housing Market Insight Report, put out by CMHC, which explored some of the expected implications on housing supply in the coming years. It basically went on to say that the report says that Canadian seniors are choosing to age in their homes for longer, with many not selling their home until their 80s or 90s. According to CMHC, more seniors are potentially staying homeowners well into their later years because many are simply living longer, healthier lives and can handle the maintenance of a home. Affluent households may therefore be able to remain homeowners and purchase a home that meets their needs rather than rent one. It said in Toronto and Vancouver, when they finally do sell, they're more likely to transition into a condo. In Montreal, they're more inclined to rent. But yes, absolutely. I see this from the front lines, even from my own family. I don't think my dad will mind. My dad is now in his early 90s and is still living in a large detached our family home and has no intention of going anywhere. Mortgage is long paid off. It's way more house than he needs, but he's comfortable there. Why move? And as far as the maintenance and things like lawn care and cleaning, well, he's hired someone for that. My dad used to love mowing the lawn, good exercise for him up until a few years ago. Now he's just hired a maintenance team that comes in and mows his lawn and edges and trims and then brings in a maid for the cleaning. I have a number of clients over the years, many that I'm still working with, that are easily into their mid to late 70s, mid 80s even, that I've been working with that are living in large detached homes. I've been working with them. We've been selling occasionally some of their investment homes over the years. They're kind of lightening the load, as they say, and cashing out. But I often joke with them, they're the same boat as my dad. They have no intention of moving out of that detached home. And I don't blame them. Why bother? Why? If you're comfortable there, again, as this survey pointed out, people are living longer, healthier lives. I think, the 80 is like the new 60 type thing. So, what kind of implications is this going to have on the housing market? Well, I'll tell you what it'll have. As this report pointed out, it's just going to mean less supply coming online. And I've been blogging about this for many years. You've got to read the room here. And I tell people that if you go around downtown Vancouver, or even in east side or west side Vancouver, there's not an awful lot of construction going on. I know that, the city is going to start doing more density and, along transit hubs and all that other stuff. That's great. We need it. But these things are going to take decades to see any results from. Meanwhile, 30, 40,000 new arrivals coming into the Lower Mainland every year. It's always been a trickle in supply here, and that's one of the reasons why we're pretty much always in a seller's market, especially for 1 and 2 bedroom condos. And occasionally we'll dip into a balanced market, and very rarely do we ever get into a buyer's market. And I think that'll continue. This is just another speed bump along the way to getting more supply, is that these older people are staying in their homes longer. Now, it got me to thinking. I remember many people have brought to my attention a book called Boom, Echo, Bust that I used to get hit with all the time. People would say, don't buy a home because, don't you know, this book is basically saying that all the baby boomers and all the people that own homes, they're all going to sell their homes at once, these baby boomers. There's going to be a flood of the market of these incredible detached homes, and the prices are going to go down. So I took a quick look online just to refresh my memory to this book. It was written in 1997, and it was a popular book. And I kind of went down a little rabbit hole on Google there to see what people are saying about this book now. But not surprising, there's a bunch of stuff on there that it just hasn't materialized. I think, the changes in diets and nutrition and exercise, people are just living longer and healthier lives now. And I don't think they foresaw that back in 1997 when that book was written. So, something to think about. I think this will be something to keep an eye on. I know that I see it firsthand from some of my clients that are well into their 70s and 80s that have no intention of selling that detached house. And I don't think that was the case back 20 or 25 years ago. Most people would retire at 65, sell a family home, and move into a condo or downsize. Less and less of that. And again, it's just going to put more restraints on an already tight housing market we have with very little supply and not a whole lot on the horizon. We'll keep an eye on it, see where it goes. But as I tell you guys, read the room. If you're a young person, you're pre-qualified for your mortgage, I've often said here, get into your first home sooner rather than later. Get out of that renter quicksand. Get into your first home. At least now you're in the market and you're creating equity two ways. You're paying down the debt. That's one way to create equity. And then, of course, over time, you're going to have some capital gains on the home. Not every year, but most years that house is going to go up in value. And the final thing, of course, is that you're going to take advantage of the only real tax shelter we get here in Canada. They don't give us really anything, and that's that principal residence exemption. But it's not going to get easier, is what I've been telling people. Yes, there will be down markets over the next 20 or 30 years, blips along the way. But when you back out of it, over the next 30 years, I can guarantee to you that that market is going to be looking like K2 or Kilimanjaro or Mount Everest. That's what it's going to look like when you back away from it and look at it from 35 or 40 years. Close up, 2023, as I told you guys a couple of weeks ago, was actually not a bad market. Overall prices were up about 5%. I just got all my assessments for this year, and all my properties except for one, the assessment values have gone up. That's the way the trend is going to continue to go over the next 20 or 25 years. And read the room. There's not a whole lot of new inventory coming on. There will be some, but it'll be a trickle in supply, not enough to keep pace with the popularity of Vancouver, which is bar none the best city in Canada to live in, and the population growth that we're going to have here. I'm Owen Bigland. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks to all my new subscribers. I'll see you next week.